Jump in and welcome everybody back for our final session. Since we've been apart for a little bit, I would like to again acknowledge the traditional ancestral unceded territories of the Coast Salish, Coquitlam, Tsleil-Waututh, Stolo, and Hittite territories on which I live, learn, and conference today. I appreciate very much the land that I'm on. Today's session is really meant to be a very loose, casual conversation between the board and those who have questions or comments. So I will hand it over to Danny as president and let him go.
And I'll just throw the floor open. Anybody has any comments? I would sort of preface it. Lee ran a couple good sessions, wrap-ups with the senior and junior coaches. Got some excellent feedback. I think just about everybody really happy with the presentations that were done, especially for the coaches, and got some good input for next year, whether we are live or online, depending what's happening in our world. One thing I did note is I really missed the s'mores on Saturday night.
There are some questions in the Q&A here, which I can just read out. Our swim club is struggling on ways to promote or advertise for a summer league team this year for swimmers to join when we have no swim meets. We are doing themed days for each practice, inter-squad meets, but what else can we do to keep our program afloat? It's almost like a question for everybody.
During the coaches wrap up, one of them talked about a swimming club league. So they're going to have a league within their own club, and each group in that club can make points, whether it's through games or a swimming league competition, participation, best times. Comments they're doing. Somebody's doing a Harry Potter theme. So if you get caught in the bathroom with a ghost, you get extra marks. Not sure how that works, but the Harry Potter theme is something my daughter would be all over.
Does anybody have any ideas on things that have worked for them in other locations for them in their club? You know what also might help? I just thought of this now, but maybe each of the board members could go through and introduce themselves and what their job is and what they're doing on the board, where their responsibilities are.
Danny Shields, chair meetings.
You do more than that, Danny.
Is there something else in my job description? I'll have to look again, remind myself.
The vice president, unfortunately, is not here this weekend.
I think he's working.
Catherine?
Hi, I'm Catherine Schwichtenberg. I'm the provincial registrar, so I take in all the registrations to determine swimmer eligibility. And I'm also a small member of the Agassiz Harrison Aquanauts.
A small member.
Yeah, I'm gradually on my way out.
Is Sean here? I haven't seen him come in.
I don't see Sean. I did see Jeff, but now I don't.
Okay.
George Ng, I'm the regional director for Vancouver and districts. So the 5 clubs we have here in the Lower Mainland and all the way up to Squamish. And Penny, just regarding that question earlier that you read out, was the context of that based on the fact that that club is not having meets, sees the meets as a void?
There is no context.
Okay, because the reason why I say that is about an hour and a half ago, we were having a session on how to do a swim meet. So they are in the works, in varying degrees, be it as a jamboree or something quote unquote official. So watch out for that.
That was from Dawn, and I think this question was posted before those sessions. And yes, she's nodding. So perhaps we can move on from that one.
Lee, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lee Vandenham. I'm the coaches rep. I handle any coaching concerns and help organize this conference. I'm also the database manager. So I'm in charge of all the results and records that are quote unquote official on our database. So it's my role.
Good, thank you. David?
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm the regional director for the Kootenays. I don't have much swimming knowledge, but I do try to keep communication flowing and keep people together. So I like to bring in information from this kind of thing and send it back out to the people who aren't here.
Good, thank you. Deirdre?
I am the regional director of the Caribou, which is Quesnel North. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks. So Jeff, are you there or off getting coffee?
No, I'm here. Just having trouble with my video. I'm Jeff Sheehan. I'm Director of Member Services, which isn't a well-defined role, but sort of a catch-all maybe for other things that the board might take on that aren't well-defined by a registrar or officials or that kind of thing.
Sometimes called a catch-all, and he does a very good job of it. Nicola?
Hi, I'm Nicola Eaton, and I am everything artistic swimming, which not too long ago was synchronized swimming. And that covers the whole province, although right now we're just seem to be in the Lower Mainland. That may change in a couple of years.
So I wonder how long we're going to have to say that. I do artistic swimming. Remember, it used to be called synchronized swimming.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have no idea.
Sam?
Sam is having some difficulty technically. There she is. Just came back. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I'm Sam. I'm the director of water polo. I deal with all issues surrounding water polo with the committee as well. So yeah.
Good. Sheila?
Sheila, are you there? Oh, I might have just lost Sheila.
Okay. So is there anybody I missed? Because I'm just going down the list and the list is bouncing around on me.
Carl, where's Carl? He's not here.
Don't see Carl.
Carl is the regional director for Simon Fraser. And Mike Freemark, who is the regional director for Fraser Valley, was not able to be here today. Neither, I already said Jim.
And
Fraser
Sean.
South and Okanagan regional directors are vacant.
My audio is not working particularly well.
All right, I think that's everybody. I'll go back to questions. Does the board have a plan for helping non-binary, gender fluid, or non-conforming individuals find their place in their club? Just to start with a nice light topic.
I'm going to turn that over to Lee. I think that's in his portfolio.
It is now. Yeah, we have a new.
Lee, I'll start. Okay, so the board actually did address this. It's 2 years ago now. We have to admit it's been difficult to get to a lot of new things this last year when everything is a Zoom meeting, but we did address it. We had some not workshops, but some sessions at provincials at Kamloops where people could come and talk about it. Megan, our office manager at the time, was one of the people helping to run that. We do have and published an initial policy, and we made it very clear that yes, this is our policy now, but this is a policy that is going to change and is going to grow as we understand it better. Now, Lee, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, so within that, we also just introduced a new committee, the Inclusion and Diversity Committee, which I am chairing with a few other members of the board here. And we're currently in a trying to figure out what direction we need to use this committee for. And so I'm welcome to feedback and suggestions from the general membership on sort of what direction to take with it. We know it's an issue, and we want to make sure that it's prevalent in sport, and that we manage it correctly. I've actually been doing a bunch of research for my degree in education and physical education out here on this issue specifically, but I need more info. I need more input. So if anyone has any suggestions or ideas, I'm open and willing to listen so that we can steer the committee in the right direction for all of our members.
And I just learned of a new resource we're going to be able to access. Megan, who was our office manager for a couple seasons, is now working for the International Olympic Committee out of Switzerland. And this is exactly what she's working on. And so and she is shocked at how little so many national sporting organizations have done with this topic. But she's going to be a resource for us as well going forward.
Will scholarships be handed out this summer? I just need to get the forms updated on the website, and I've been focused on this. My understanding is yes.
So let me think for half a second. I don't even have to make a decision. Yes, they will be, because they are something that we've mandated, and those funds are there for that. So yes, we will.
They're in the budget.
Yeah.
What are some ways we can encourage our parents to want to be officials and volunteers at meets? Our director of officials is unfortunately working.
Deirdre could talk about what the Caribou does on Saturday nights.
Well, I was going to say we feed them regularly throughout the swim meet, and then we have our dips and martinis in the parking lot of the pool camping area for hanging out and visiting. I don't think we in our region, we typically have lots of parent support for officiating, etc. So I'm not sure what other regions do, but I find if we feed them and visit in the evenings on that night and camp together, it seems to go pretty good.
We don't have a drop-off issue either, though. Parents aren't dropping their kids off and driving back home because it's a 400-kilometer drive. So the parents are already captured for us.
Yes, that does seem to work, that they're hanging out anyway, so they might as well keep themselves occupied and entertained while they're waiting.
Are there any clubs that can offer ideas or strategies that they've used?
In the Fraser Valley, we used active volunteer sign up for regional meets, and also did it for club hosted meets. And essentially put the word out that if you want your child in a volunteer organization, you need to volunteer. And then, like everybody else says, making sure it's fun, making sure that you've got lots of teaching, food, and trying as hard as possible not to make it too frightening.
I would think that there'd be a lot of fear in doing it, and what if I make a mistake?
Right. And one of the things I found over the years in a variety of different organizations is there's people who step up because they step up, and then there's people who step up because someone has identified a need and that appeals to them. And so sometimes it's just a matter of a variety of messaging. So sometimes it's, hey, come on over. Can you just time and I'll show you how? Or letting people sign up on their own and giving them lots of space to do that. But one thing that has worked has been that consistent messaging that it only works if parents or their replacement is doing something at the meet.
The SEALs have also done the Navy and Gold, typically in a summer, where it's just a inter-club meet where we do that's how I got started. Officiating is with the parents saying, hey, come stand here with me. So doing those practice sort of swim meets within your club is a great way to get parents seeing what they could do or help out in that way.
Thanks,
Swag,
Ted.
swag and badges help too.
Sorry, I talked over you there. Go ahead, Danny. Can you say that again?
Swag and badges help, especially badges. Parents love to get a badge. Oh, look, I've got my green badge. Now I can work towards my red badge.
Studies have shown that a personal invitation will work wonders to get people to come in. So the person who came up and asked Deirdre to come and do something, that always works better than a, hey, we need volunteers. It's a lot easier to walk away from a, hey, we need volunteers than it is to walk away from Dawn, can you come and help us tonight? Curtis has a question.
Actually, I've got two. I'll start with one. Just kind of for anybody who could speak to it. Obviously, this is a unique summer, but wondering if there's any precedent from other sort of universal big global events that have happened, like 2008 or 9/11, that the summer club has, if there's any precedent of bouncing back from that sort of thing.
I don't think our organization has ever had as big a challenge as COVID has been, but that's not just our organization, it's everybody. And so I think what we have to do is be ready to take advantage. Sounds kind of harsh, but we have to take advantage of the other group's misfortunes. I think we're going to be situated where we can actually bounce back if we're ready. And you know, that brings me back to the planning programs and Francis's talk on strategic planning. Is our clubs need to be planning now what they're going to be doing at the end of August, what we're going to do over next year to get that bounce back. And I sort of say there's three groups we have to be aware of. There's that older group that I think a lot of them are just going to be burnt out. They're going to be done. 2 years, I don't get to compete. Jobs are going to be calling, boyfriends, girlfriends are going to be calling, graduation. We might not get those. There's that middle group that we already have, and they can't wait to get back in the water. And then there's that whole group of our new recruits that we've now missed 2 seasons. And so we really have to plan ways how we can recruit and get those in. But keep in mind, all those ones we recruit, they haven't been in anything. So we're not even competing against soccer or dance or anything like that. It's sort of like we have a wide open field. And if we can be first in, I think we can get more than our fair share of recruits that way. But when I look at bouncing back, yeah, this is unprecedented. You have to go back more than 100 years to the Spanish flu or a world war.
I would just add, it's George here. I would just add that I think it was Curtis, you asked the question. The fact that we're all speaking and having this virtual coaches conference right now, which has reached hundreds of people, I believe, Penny, I think we're bouncing back. I mean, we are actually, you know, making the best, being creative and being resilient. So hats off to us, I think.
Yes, there was 100 and something. No, I don't remember. And my dog's being silly at the moment, so I can't talk. I gotta mute myself.
I've got a second question too, if that's okay. Just like at our regional level, we've sort of begun to have some conversations that I think are moving in a good direction on inclusivity and just reaching out to underrepresented communities in our organization. I'm wondering what kind of conversations are happening at the provincial board level and if there's maybe some things to be excited about in that direction.
So not a new topic for starters, okay? I can remember, and I was on the board when we were sitting around and we were looking at clubs in the Fraser South region. And the comment was, the Oriental population is really high, but there aren't any in swim clubs. And now there are. So we see changes like that. We can look at other populations where we used to say, what happened? And some of the local clubs actually, okay, we have to actually go into that community and tell them, hey, we're here, because we know that communities can be quite insular and not look outside their community. So you have to identify those locally as far as those cultural groups go. BCSSA has always welcomed swimmers with challenges. Now, have we made it as easy as possible? I'm not sure we have. I think really it comes down to a club by club basis. I know my career as a coach, I have coached physically disabled athletes that were just part of our club. I've had swimmers with Down syndrome. I've had deaf swimmers, all within my club, and it wasn't a big deal. But small community, it's really easy for me to see that kid walking down the street or in the school, or know that parent and say, well, no, bring them out. We'll figure out how to do this. The committee that Lee's in charge of, that's one of their mandates, is to start looking at what more can we do? Are there rule changes we have to make, or are there rules we have to add to accommodate? And the more input we get, the better, because nobody is an expert on this and everybody has an opinion. Don't know if that answers it for you.
No, that's great, Danny. Thank you. I just was curious.
It's definitely there on the table every meeting.
Thank you.
All right, I got my dog out of here so I can unmute. Does BCSSA support senior coaches to do swim clinics for other teams?
Well, we're not against it. I'm not sure what they mean by support. There's certainly
Not paying you to do it.
We're not paying you to do it, but I'm sure they would. You know, once again, I used to run a swim camp the long weekend of May every year in Dawson Creek, and we had swimmers travel from Fort St. John, Prince George, Quesnel for the weekend and go to the swim camp. Our coaches conference started because of a guy named Bill Nash. Actually, Bill is still active. He is coaching the master's program in Grand Prairie. But at the time, this was early 80s, Bill started a swim camp, had guys like Howard Furby, one of the preeminent coaches ever in Canada, a few other big names, and he would run a swim camp in the Okanagan, and people from all over the province. That developed into our first coaches conference, actually.
It was just a question because I'm Canadian, but a new coach that just moved to Canada after 30 years from Norway and Texas. So it was something that we coaches always did for other swim teams to promote our team, whether it was summer leagues, we were a year-round team. So we went to all the summer leagues and did all these coaches clinics, summer tune-ups, all these sessions with these clubs to draw more interest towards our year-round team. That was the base. So I wasn't, yeah, that's where that question was going for. And it helped mentor junior coaches.
Yeah, it doesn't happen as much. I can tell you, I used to travel around and do 1 day and 2 day swim camps for different clubs within the province, and actually in Saskatchewan quite a bit too. A guy named Dave Chisholm used to coach in Fort St. John and then was down in the Kootenays, ended up being aquatic director for Saskatchewan, and he and I would do coaches clinics and swim clinics out there quite a bit. So yeah, it's been done lots in the past. It just needs somebody that wants to do it.
From Brian, I think it would be a good idea to have a member of the BCSSA to support teams negotiating with the city for pool time. We have our hands tied in Abby this year, and it might affect registration in the future years. Would it be possible to have someone with experience to help clubs out with that piece? That's a hard one.
Yeah. You know, we don't have a staff person that can do that, so we're asking even more of our volunteers. And I don't know how useful it is to have somebody from outside coming in and doing negotiating, but I think what we could do is compile not so much a best practices, but maybe some good ideas and ammunition you should use when you're going in to negotiate. You know, we could do something like that. Any other thoughts? Anybody else?
Has anybody else negotiated with their city or faced a situation similar where they've had to do some major negotiations that could act as a resource?
So it's Dave done it. In negotiating, especially for like the teachers union in the province, there was an idea of a whipsaw where when one union had a successful negotiating tactic, they would share it out and other people would use it. So if people are successful negotiating with the pool or with the region, then maybe we should be collating that and then sharing it out for other people so they can say, look, here's what you're saying in Abbotsford, but we know in Mission they're doing this, and in they, you know, sort of putting that pressure of other places are doing this, why aren't we? So I don't know where we collect that, but I know for us, we got really lucky with our board because our rec commission, because they were involved with the club, or they wanted to be involved with the club, or they had kids who were swimmers, and they were very easy to work with. Whereas people, you know, just 100 kilometers east of us were having a heck of a time trying to negotiate with theirs. So taking, you know, what's working somewhere and then sharing that as a negotiating tactic might be a possible tactic.
Good idea.
You know, when I think about it, I think, you know, a lot of negotiation, it needs to happen way before you actually sit down at the table. Our club ended up with the best pool hours we've ever had since we moved into our new pool. I call it a new pool. I don't know, it's 12 or 15 years old now. But I think a lot of that came down to just the promotion the club's done the last several years, and the education we've done within the community. So we're known as an excellent organization. And so the city realizes how big we are, how important we are, and we're getting more cooperation that way. I think that's a lot of it.
Another question is, what are ways we can connect as a community of coaches other than this conference? Maybe Lee, did you have any ideas? I think that a few things came out of your coaches roundtables.
Yeah, a couple ideas that I think me and Penny will go back and start looking at if are possible, is maybe doing like sending out either resources or hosting monthly, bi-weekly Zoom meetings similar to our roundup, just to like have a nice place for ideas to share. Again, it would take some resourcing from us on our end, and so we have to look at the viability of it and whether or not it would work. But you know, I think a lot of us coaches enjoy and benefit quite wholeheartedly from talking to other coaches. I know within regions that's a frequent occurrence, and we like to see how other clubs do it on the island. For sure, the coaches hang out and we talk all the time about swimming. Maybe we could look at that at a grander scale, and you know, if it's well attended and if it's something we could try, it would work. But if it doesn't seem worth the time, you know, then it's something we should find another solution around. So connection is important.
I think especially in these times when we are kind of isolated in what we're doing, there's less opportunity to just happen to chat with somebody at a swim meet. We almost have to make them purposeful. But let's see what we can do. I agree, Lee. Let's look at our resources and what is realistic.
Yeah, it has to be realistic in the terms as well. So
yeah. I think I can answer this one, and it's possibly been answered already, which is, does the board have a plan on how to practice safe COVID-19 swim meets in the future? Yes, we actually I uploaded the document today, which is a return to competition plan. And I think a lot of that is in there. So hopefully that answers that question. Are we going to have regional and provincial swim meets this year? And if so, how? That was another Dawn question.
No. Short answer is no.
Well,
not in a traditional sense.
Not in a traditional sense, because the second part is, if so, how? Is it going to be by virtual swim meets?
So if possible, it would be by virtual. You know, if everything goes just absolutely perfect, I don't think it will. I'm not as optimistic as I was a year ago. You know, you might see some regional competition, but man, just watching the news over lunch hour today, I can't see that happening. So we're looking at some kind of virtual swim meet with asterisks around it.
Which is a good, pardon me, segue into the next question. If our team / club supports using the swimmingly, will BCSSA help with the cost?
It is not within our budget. So no. You have to remember that we don't survive on government grants at all. We don't get any government grants. All of our income is through registration. Last year, we basically had none. We charged $5, which didn't even completely cover the insurance cost per swimmer. And registration we know is going to be down this year. So it just simply is not in the budget. On the other hand, I got to say $400 Canadian. Lee pointed out that's one swimmer's registration in a lot of clubs. It's not very much to use it as a tool. You're going to spend that buying flutter boards. So it's pretty cheap experiment. And I think you want to think of it as this is something to experiment with this summer if you want to.
I think we just answered that. Is there any plan for any swim meets happening if COVID restrictions loosen up? Some kind.
I know there are a number of regions that have booked pool time. My club has booked pool time. We have a commitment that we can book pool time as a province if we want to. And so, yeah, people are ready to have a swim meet if it is allowable.
I might have just clicked as a question was answered that wasn't. So I apologize if I skipped it.
Let's put it this way. I think if we gave George, what would you need, George? 5 days notice or less? And he could have a swim meet ready to go.
Well, it depends on the pool time. And again, for those that missed the session earlier, we're working on it. And we got a lot of feedback from the people that were on the call. So basically, Sean and the competition committee, what we're looking at is how do you run a swim meet, be it a jamboree or be it with something with some kind of official time. So it's in the works. I think the key message that we talked about on the competition committee is we don't want what happened last year, which is just kids swimming back and forth. They want some sort of competition. And like I say, be it stopwatch times or swimmingly or something like that. So again, you're going to see more details in that, but it's going to require the clubs to have pool times, to have swimmers, and to decide what type of meet they want to put together. So from a BCSSA point of view, we're preparing, like this morning, we rolled out what is an official meet could possibly be it swimmingly or team manager or what have you. And then the other end of the scale is just a simple, jamboree thing. So it's coming. We want to have some sort of meets, but it'll depend on what clubs want to have a meet, are willing to go through the new protocols and setups for a meet, and to decide what system they want to use, swimmingly or whatever it is. So something's going to happen, I think.
What happens, it's just going to depend on what the protocols are and what pool space is available. That everybody wants some kind of competition to happen.
All right.
All right, can I just jump in there? I think a really important piece of the competitions is getting times and not worrying too much about the officialness or the properness of strokes or having people on deck. Or I think getting kids in the water and getting times regardless of how they get up and down the pool, and just getting those broadcast, not worrying about the officialness of it or having medals or anything like that. Just getting kids with times in the water so they can see other people's times, regardless of whether you can run it with stroke and turns or anything. I think that should be our most important goal, is just getting some times for kids out there so they can see what their friends are doing. And just not worrying too much about the officialness or the properness of the meet.
Letting them try to go fast.
There's a question here that I'm quickly trying to type to Sean because he said he'd be available. But the question is, if official meets are held by individual clubs, will BCSSA be awarding provincial medals to those swimmers who win overall through those meets? Like, I'm guessing if official meets are held virtually by clubs.
So we're using they're using language that we don't have. We don't have official meets other than the regionals or provincials. Those are the only two official meets we have. We don't sanction meets other than the regionals or provincials. At this point in time, we do not anticipate running a regionals or a provincials that resembles anything that we've run in the past.
There are no other questions here. So anyone?
I've got another one. What's the status of the May the 4th day this year?
It's a great day.
Usually do a competition or something.
Penny doesn't know about May the 4th. I think you're talking about May the 4th be with you.
Oh, I do know about that.
Yeah, we sort of let that drop last year because, of course, we weren't in the water. Should we start that up again?
I'd say so.
Okay. So May the 4th, you know what May the 4th is, Penny?
Well, of course I do.
Good.
Yes.
So in the past, we've had a President's Challenge. And after their May the 4th practices, coaches send in pictures of their athletes in their May the 4th costumes. And then the president picks a couple and awards an honorary lightsaber to that swim club with a plaque. So I'll send you something later today, Penny, and we could put that out on our different media, and the clubs could start thinking about it. Thanks for reminding me.
Fun.
I think I might make it May the 4th week, though, because that's only our second day back.
Are there any other questions? Wow, you guys are quiet.
Seems like we did a good job.
Yeah, we must have answered all your questions in the sessions. Either that or they're not actually there.
Yeah, some of them aren't moving.
I mean, I know Dawn and Arata are there, but and Curtis, everybody else, not really confident that you're really there.
See, and I'm sitting here looking out my window and there's white stuff falling straight down.
You're kidding.
And I know it's
That's
not
fine.
blossoms
It's
off
not
the trees.
flower petals.
Yeah, it's
So yeah, I can
definitely
assure
not
you
flower.
I'm here. I just can't put my video on and have audio at the same time. So I'd rather hear what's going on.
Fair enough.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in a bad place where it's hard for me to be video and audio. The Stingrays are looking to run our Little Stingray program, which is our 4 to 6 year olds, which means parents have to be in the pool with their children this year, which I'd reach out to you, Penny, about. I'm just wondering, with the insurance for the parents, is it going to cost the parents the BCSSA like membership fee for them to be in?
I can answer that because I talked to the insurance provider. We did add an extra rider to it, so it is costing us, Danny, a little bit more, but our insurance cost was below what we had budgeted because it was based on last year's numbers. So we're still below. So they don't have to pay a fee from our end unless you guys want to charge them.
Okay. And it can be multiple parents,
Accurate,
right?
Danny?
Well, it could be multiple parents, but they have to be with their own children.
Yes.
And they have to be 3 meters apart from the other parents.
Yes.
Oh, I just mean like if on one day one parent can come and then the next day a different parent comes because they have to work late. As long as both of them are signing the waiver, either of them could be in the pool with their child.
Yes.
You have to register them in some way.
Yeah. Okay. And then
they
I just
have to sign the waiver.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And then just to all clubs, we're having a hard time pulling in our young swimmers, which obviously feeds our competitive program. And so our young numbers are really low. Parents are just not really wanting to get in the pool. So we're wondering if other clubs have come up with strategies to try and pull in those kids, those swimmers.
I have to say, I wish I lived closer to Ladner because I would totally drive my kids there. Because I can't find a spot for mine.
Oh, yeah, it's hard.
Maybe some of the other clubs in the area have a wait list. You're Fraser South, right?
Yeah, Fraser South. Yeah, that's true. I could reach out to B4 and North Delta. I hadn't thought about that. Thanks.
And send me the info because maybe I'll drive to Ladner.
Okay, absolutely.
It's a long drive. We can, yeah, send me the info on anything anyways, and I can always put the info out on the social medias and share it with people. And I apologize for not getting newsletters out. I've just been a little busy with this conference, but I will be getting one out in the next week. Like birds chirping in the background. Well, that's easy.
So last chance for anybody. Well, I want to thank Penny and Lee. Excellent job. Our very first virtual coaches conference, spring conference, sets a precedent. I think a lot of us, are really hoping next year maybe we can be back together, but I can see alternating back and forth too. Do 1 year live, 1 year virtual, back and forth like that. But thank you very much for all the work you put in. Thank you for everybody for taking part. Excellent lineup of presenters this year. When we heard back from the coaches, that was one of the most consistent comments of how much they were pleased by all the different presenters.
That's awesome.
Good.
I just would like to thank Penny and Lee also for all the work and all Penny's information to keep us board members updated with what we needed to do. So yeah, well done, both of you. It was very good.
It's awesome.
I'm dishing it off to Penny mostly. She did most of the hard work. All I did was find some cool people every now and then. So, and hosting. But
Absolutely.
thank you, Penny.
Hosting is awesome. You're
Yeah,
very
thank you,
welcome.
Penny. Well
Uh,
done.
Penny just did send out an invitation. She has some cahoots left. And
Yeah,
we did
if
the
you
cahoots
want
last
to
night.
stick around and
I want to point out that I won one of them, but I couldn't take the prize. So if you want to stick around and try a Kahoot, please do so.
Yeah, and I was just trying to find the link right now for the waivers, and I found the minors one, but I can't find the other one right off the top of my head. So anyway, I will post that somewhere. Maybe I'll put it in the document section.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So that was
Normally, this is when we say.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say normally this is when we say get on the bus and get out of here, but no bus. So I don't know. I want to thank everyone that came too. You know, it's been fun. It's been fun. I learned a lot. Hopefully, you guys all did too. Now let's play some Kahoot. I gotta
This is
get
the
this open.
test at the end of the weekend to see what you learned.
Who listened?
Pardon me?
I liked that yesterday. One of the few questions that everybody did get wrong was from artistic swimming.
Yes. I tried to have a little
I noticed that.
one in there. What was the question, Nicola?
It was how many gold medals were won just recently in Budapest.
Yeah, everyone got it wrong.
Everybody got it wrong. Sort of ashamed about that one.
Yeah, Danny, you got that one wrong too. You were playing, weren't you?
I did.
I wasn't playing, but I would not have gotten it wrong because I follow that stuff. Which is, I mean, I made the question. Canada got 4 gold medals, for those that didn't know. Of course, it's only one leg of those World Series, but that's good. Come join in, it's fun. No pressure, no prizes. We're out of prizes.
Prizes.
Maybe we should announce who won the other prizes. Arada and Curtis, Sophie, Kier, and Olivia. You guys were the winners of our $25 gift cards. Any more joiners?
Mostly.
I have no idea what you just said, Sheila. We're going to go ahead and start the first one. I want to know who Boily Moily is, but I know who Mr. Seal is. Here we go. Lee, you have to play host.
What? I'm playing in here too.
No, okay, I'll read them out. Do I need to read them? You guys can all read.
Nah.
Right?
Nah. We're good.
Quiz. What does BCSSA stand for?
Select 2.
What?
Oh. Okay.
Nice. Who's at the top? Nice, Olivia.
Oh.
Boy, we got some fast clickers here.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty quick.
You don't have to be fast, you just have to be right. What is the vision of a strategic plan? The destination, the path? Oh, you guys have to be fast. I forgot I was supposed
Well,
to.
you have to be fast too.
Really?
Jeez.
Yeah, you get points for
Right.
being first.
Oh, I didn't know that. Here we
Speed's
go.
critical.
It is the destination. Olivia's winning,
Oh,
but Mr. Seal's
Danny's
making
coming
a
up.
comeback. Competitors may not transfer between clubs after which date? July 1, second Monday in July, second Friday in July, second Thursday in July.
Oh no.
Wow.
Catherine, I hope you got that one right.
Is Catherine still there? No, she's gone. Nobody got that right. It's the second Thursday in July.
Oh,
Danny.
Monday.
Danny, did you not answer that one?
I got it wrong.
Who presented the workshop not today on strategic planning? Elizabeth Walker Young, Danny Shields, Claire Wang, or Francis Chung? Francis, well done.
Let's go.
Oh, Olivia Falls. What is the one thing that Coach Carl says coaches should do in each swim practice to have the most impact? Talk to each athlete at least 10 times. Follow your practice plan exactly. Focus on results over techniques. Stay in one spot so swimmers can find you.
Could you imagine that, Danny?
Is he up to 10 times now? It used to be 5.
Every year he adds more.
He does. He adds that, and that number gets bigger every year.
It was
not
2 my
wrong.
first year.
Moving on, number 6 out of 10. Who achieved the fastest 50-meter swim currently in our database with a time of 23.08? Brent Hayden, Buzz Malander, Richard Weinberger, or Penny Alexia? Buzz.
Buzz!
That doesn't seem fair that you get that right, Lee, since you gave it to me.
Uh-huh.
Did you get it right, Danny?
Yes, I did.
I remember the race. It was
Was that at
2019.
Kamloops?
Yeah. The last provincials we had, last meet we had.
Which protest regarding competitor eligibility but shall not be shall not be investigated? Type your answer. I wasn't sure how this one would work. Type it in. Only 2 people.
I think so.
Oh,
You know what? It should have been anonymous.
oh,
What did people
okay.
say?
That's what the protest is put in anonymously.
Yeah.
I understand it.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, it didn't change anything.
Nope. Nobody got it right. What region is known as the Gators?
We had the Gator for a while.
Yeah, you stole it.
We stole it. Took a bit of planning.
It always does.
There was a gator heist?
How many individual
yeah.
results are currently on the database? Approximately 500, 5,000, 500,000, or 5 million. Again, this seems unfair. 500,000.
By the time all the data's in, though, it'll be about 1.5 million.
Nice.
Keep that in mind for next year's canoe.
People that are joining us right now, we're just doing a fun Kahoot. All swimming speed is connected to, put in order, inertia, power, drag, or equal speed. I had to have 4. Apparently people didn't know that one. Oh yeah, that was the last question.
Did you win, Danny?
Oh, I did, but once again, no prizes.
The question,
I got second.
The answer to that last one was drag, power, inertia.
Equals speed.
Equals speed, yeah. I had to have 4 things. So Danny, we have people coming in because this is on the agenda as conference conclusion.
Okay.
Do I have another one that hasn't been played? Shall we do another one?
Or should we conclude?
We'll wait a little bit in case people want to join in. Join the trivia contest. It's fun. See what you've learned. Pokey for press. There's like 46 people in the room, so we should have more than 14 people joining in on our Kahoot. Is Ella Lambie in the room? No. I'm going to wait a few more minutes so people that are joining can come in. Awesome.
Maybe this would be a good time to explain to probably the only person in the room who doesn't understand what this Gator thing means.
Yeah. I think it's a
Like,
map.
yeah, so every provincial's VI region has a gator, like an inflatable gator.
Not a real one.
Well, not yet. And it got stolen by Dawson Creek last year.
We didn't steal it. We just borrowed it and entertained it for a while.
Brandon Bronson brought 2 of those things, and I don't think we came home with either of them.
We don't have one, I can guarantee you. We wouldn't do that.
It's okay, it's on Curtis now, so.
So if anybody
regional
wants to join the Kahoot and hasn't yet, can you put your hand up? Using the Zoom app or the Huba app. I hope nobody is chatting because I'm not keeping an eye on that. Sorry. I've lost the Kahoot. There we go. Okay, hearing no or seeing no hands, I'm just going to go ahead. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh no, Catherine, you weren't able to do it. I missed that. Sorry. Which BCSSA club had the most individuals registered in 2019, pre-COVID? Coquitlam Sharks, Nanaimo White Rapids, Port Moody Aquarians, or Chilliwack Stingrays? Coquitlam Sharks is the correct answer. You Nanaimo guys think you're always the best and the most.
We're all that in a bag of chips.
Well, you think you are. Can swimmers from a higher division be on a lower division relay team? Yes or no? No. BCSSA had no rule changes in 2020. Yes or no? True or false? False. How many people registered for the conference this weekend? Don't look, Lee. 252, 176, 341, or 126? 252 people registered.
That's a lot.
Awesome, I think.
Probably one of our highest registration numbers in a while.
What does BLABT stand for? I'm not reading them all out.
You just gotta be quick when you read, Penny. That's all.
Somebody hasn't pressed. Body position, legs, arms, breathing, timing. Only one person got it wrong. Basic length and brief timers. Which of our weekend's presenters will be attending UBC and the high performance coaching program next year? Sean Colley, Elizabeth Walker Young, Bailey Monroe, or Hayes Johnson?
They're coming for you, Lee.
I know. I'm trying real hard to stay on top. There are so many sirens driving by my house right now, actually. It's crazy.
Are you the province?
Actually, that might be in my parking lot. I am the province.
Who is Charlie Huchin? CFO and Olympian, CEO and Olympian, celebrity endorser, or childhood friend of Sean Colley?
I don't think I'm going to be on top anymore.
CEO and Olympian. Well done. Oh, Julia took over. Which sport did Penny Bartell compete in during high school? Diving, curling, none, or Australian football?
Oh. I think I made a mistake.
I think you probably did. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. I skipped by accident. I did compete in high school. Regional champion, curling, 1989. Nice. Multi-select. What is financial management?
Oh my God.
Fiduciary duties, budget creation, fundraising, ongoing process of good policy and practice, where it leads to financial stability today and in the future. Seemed a lot more serious than it was yesterday.
We're really intense.
Yeah, very much. You're falling, Lee.
I know. I thought I got it right. I put one too
Last
many.
question. What is the current provincial health orders with regards to youth sports, games, tournaments, and competitions in BC? Canceled until January 22, no restrictions, only single club multi-cohort, or all competitions are temporarily suspended.
Oh, I clicked the wrong one.
Gotta focus, Lee.
No,
All competitions temporarily suspended. It's all about the wording. Yay. Joseph and Colossal. And
is it Danny again?
Julia. Now,
Oh, not me this time. I was a little slow on the buzzer.
Runners up is Mr. Steele and Alyssa. Is Jay Rosick and Ty, is that also Julia? Where is Julia? Who is Jay Rosick and Ty? Ah, there we go.
Bless you guys.
You guys are two. Fun. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing if I could find my little bar to stop sharing. Over to you, Danny. Danny? over to you.
So last chance, any questions, comments?
For those that just joined us, we finished earlier in our previous session and Danny gave his official ending comment. But then we just played.
Well, thank you very much for everybody taking part. Good luck this season. Going to be another different season, but better than last season. Not as good as next year. And if you have questions, be sure to send them along. Hopefully we can help you out.
Awesome.
We're here for you.
What's that?
We're here for you.
Surveys and information will be sent out and recordings will be available sometime on this site. You'll get a notice.
Good. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
It was a great weekend.
No flakes
Thanks for all
to
the hard
stop.
work.
I'm glad.
Bye, Curtis.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
Lee.
Thank you.